The Lighthouse Window. In a quiet coastal town where the sea laps gently against the shore, an old lighthouse stands watch on the cliffside. It has long since been retired. Its beacon hasn't turned in years, with vines slowly winding up its weathered base and seabirds having claimed its ledges. Yet some say that once in a while, on calm, windless nights, a faint light flickers in its window. No one really talks about who owns the lighthouse anymore. It was decommissioned and quietly forgotten, like a song the town used to sing, but no longer remembers the words to. One summer night, a young girl named Evie was staying at her grandfather's cottage by the sea. The moon was full, and the waves shimmered like silver threads. As she lay in bed, the ocean whispering through the open window, Evie noticed something unusual, a dim glow in the lighthouse window. It blinked once, then again, then faded. The next night it returned, right around midnight, and again, the night after that. The light wasn't bright or urgent. It pulsed gently like a slow breath, as though the tower itself was calling. Curiosity settled over Evie. So, on the third night, she wrapped herself in her grandfather's old coat and stepped out into the night. The path to the lighthouse was overgrown but familiar. Her grandfather had once been the keeper many years ago, before the light was shut down. He never spoke much about it, but his eyes always softened when he looked toward the tower. At the lighthouse door, Evie found it slightly ajar. Inside, the air was cool and still. The spiral staircase curved upward, worn by years of careful steps. She climbed. At the top, the lantern room was quiet, filled with moonlight. The great light mechanism sat cold and still, no longer turning. Near the base of the light was a folded wool blanket, and beside it, a chair, placed carefully to face the sea. Evie stood for a while, realizing someone had been here. A ghost? Maybe just someone who still came, quietly, to keep watch. Maybe it was her grandfather. Maybe it was someone else who once cared for this place and hadn't let it go. To sit, to keep watch. The long-dead bulb didn't ask for anything. Yet there was something about it, as if it wanted to say, "I'm still here." The next morning, Evie asked her grandfather about the lighthouse. He smiled, just a little. "Sometimes," he said, "a place remembers what it's for, even when we forget." Every night that summer, she watched the lighthouse window. And sometimes, when the sea grew silent and the world held its breath, the light would blink once, twice, and fade. And she would wonder, thinking someone or something was still keeping watch. Or maybe it was the lighthouse itself remembering, the footsteps that it used to hear, the voice that once hummed up its stairs, the ships far out at sea, once guided by its glow. Maybe it had missed her grandfather all this time. Maybe someone else. Or maybe it simply missed being needed. To be seen, to be remembered.